Let's see what's happening in the world today. There's so much geological activity happening on a daily basis. There's volcanoes, there's earthquakes, there could be landslides, tsunamis, all kinds of activity. And we may think of it as geological time moving really slowly, but actually there's lots of activity every day. So let's take a closer look at all the things that I keep track of putting into the Geo Roundups. So where do I start? I like the Volcano Discovery website. It tracks volcanic activity and earthquake activity around the world. They've got a Volcanoes Today section where you can go to, and it reports on the latest volcanic activity, like in Grindavik, Iceland. Lots of activity happening there currently. But they also have a section where they can look at earthquake activity. And they give you a lot of different stats on the latest quakes, for example. So in the past 24 hours, there's been 772 earthquakes, and there's been 4 above a magnitude of 5. All right, so this is information that I like to keep track of, because magnitude earthquakes over magnitude 4, those are earthquakes that the population can feel. And you can also get a map here. I love looking at maps, getting an idea of spatial awareness. And you can see a lot of earthquake activity happening around what we call the Ring of Fire, okay, around the Pacific Ocean, and lots of volcanic activity, lots of earthquake activity happening there. What else do I look at? Well, I like to go to the American Geological Union's blog sphere. There's lots of great blogs here on various topics related to geology, and one of the most famous professors, Professor Dave Petley, he is a landslide expert, and he has a landslide blog, also on Twitter, and you can get the latest information on landslides. So you can see here on November 22nd, he's reporting a large landslide triggered by heavy rainfall in Wrangell, Alaska. And you also can see other activity that's happening perhaps in relation to earthquakes, like this November 17th landslide that was triggered by an earthquake. So from there, earthquakes and landslides can trigger tsunamis. So I sometimes go and I look at NOAA's website, and they have a lot of great weather and geological information that is being monitored. There's lots of sensors around the world, and one type of sensor is tsunami sensors. These will be buoys placed out into the ocean, and if there is a large earthquake or a landslide into a water body, then this can trigger a tsunami, and actually then you'll have information plotted on this map. So right now they're showing earthquakes that have happened, but they're not of a magnitude or location that triggers a tsunami. So these are some of the things I like to look at. I also enjoy looking at the planet from a large perspective, and you can see here, these are all the magnitudes of earthquakes that have happened in the last 24 hours around the world. You can see lots of earthquakes happening in one location, and those are probably related to the volcanic activity. And then you can see dark red lines. These are plate tectonic boundaries, and we see lots of earthquake activity along these boundaries down here in New Zealand. And the size of these rings indicates the magnitude of the earthquake. So I hope you enjoyed this kind of overview of the different things that I like to look at on a regular basis to keep an eye on the geological activity that happens every day on planet Earth.